Switzerland, the most beautiful country in Europe. Imagine waking up surrounded by snow-covered mountains, looking down at a crystal-clear lake, and watching a train travel through one of the most beautiful landscapes on Earth. Welcome to Switzerland. A small country in the heart of Europe, Switzerland is famous for its spectacular Alps, beautiful lakes, chocolate, cheese, watches, peaceful cities, and incredibly scenic train journeys. But Switzerland is much more than beautiful mountains. In this video, we're going on a journey through Switzerland, from its stunning landscapes and famous cities to its unique culture, food, history, and the places that make this country so special. Where is Switzerland? Switzerland is located in Central Europe. It shares borders with France, Germany, Austria, Liechtenstein, and Italy. Although the country is relatively small, its landscape is incredibly diverse. You can find mountains, forests, lakes, vineyards, historic towns, modern cities, and peaceful villages, all within a relatively short distance. Switzerland has 4 national language regions: German, French, Italian, and Romansh. This makes Switzerland culturally fascinating, because different parts of the country can feel completely different. In the West, French influence is strong. In the South, especially in Ticino, you'll find an Italian atmosphere. And in much of the North and Center, German is the dominant language. The Swiss Alps. When people imagine Switzerland, the first thing that usually comes to mind is the Alps. And for good reason. Around 2/3 of Switzerland's territory is covered by the Alps, and the country has 48 mountain peaks higher than 4,000 meters. One of the most famous mountains is the Matterhorn. Its dramatic pyramid-shaped peak has become one of the most recognizable symbols of Switzerland. Then there's the Jungfrau region, where visitors can experience spectacular mountain scenery around destinations such as Grindelwald, Wengen, and Lauterbrunnen. In winter, the mountains become a paradise for skiing and snowboarding. In summer, they transform into a giant playground for hiking, cycling, climbing, and sightseeing. The Alps aren't just beautiful. They are an important part of Swiss culture, tourism, transportation, and history. Switzerland's lakes. Switzerland isn't only about mountains. It is also a country of lakes. There are roughly 1,500 lakes across Switzerland, while lakes and rivers cover around 4% of the country's surface area. One of the most famous is Lake Geneva. It's surrounded by mountains, vineyards, and beautiful cities such as Geneva, Lausanne, and Montreux. Then there's Lake Lucerne, surrounded by dramatic mountains and historic towns. Lake Zürich offers a combination of nature and city life. And Lake Breitz is famous for its incredibly blue water and spectacular mountain surroundings. With so many lakes, Switzerland has earned another interesting nickname: the Water Tower of Europe. Zurich, Geneva, and Bern. Switzerland's cities have a completely different atmosphere from its mountain villages. Let's start with Zurich. Zurich is Switzerland's largest city and an important international center for finance, business, culture, and transportation. Then there's Geneva. Located beside Lake Geneva, the city has a strongly international character and is home to numerous international organizations. But Switzerland's capital is Bern. Bern is famous for its historic old town, medieval architecture, covered arcades, and the River Aar. The city's old town is recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And then there's Lucerne. With its beautiful lake, historic buildings, mountains, and famous Chapel Bridge, Lucerne looks almost like a movie set. Swiss trains. One of the best ways to experience Switzerland is by train. Swiss railway travel is famous for combining efficient transportation with incredible scenery. Imagine sitting beside a large window while your train passes green valleys, snowy peaks, forests, waterfalls, and mountain villages. One famous journey is the Bernina Express. The route travels through the Alps and includes spectacular engineering achievements such as the Landwasser Viaduct and the Brusio Spiral Viaduct. The journey connects dramatic mountain landscapes with historic railway infrastructure. For travelers, the train isn't simply a way to get from one city to another. In Switzerland, the journey itself can be part of the adventure. Swiss food. Of course, we can't talk about Switzerland without talking about food. First, there's Swiss cheese. Perhaps the most famous is Gruyere, a cheese with a rich and slightly nutty flavor. Then there's fondue. Imagine sitting around a table with a pot of melted cheese, dipping pieces of bread into it while surrounded by snowy mountains. Another popular dish is raclette, where melted cheese is traditionally served with potatoes and other accompaniments. And then there is chocolate. Swiss chocolate has become famous around the world for its smooth texture and high quality. So if you're visiting Switzerland, prepare yourself. The mountains might be unforgettable, but the food may be just as memorable. Why tourists love Switzerland? So why do millions of people visit Switzerland? The answer is simple. Variety. You can spend the morning exploring a historic city, take a train into the mountains in the afternoon, and finish the day beside a beautiful lake. Switzerland's natural landscape is also one of the country's biggest economic assets. Tourism is especially important in the mountain regions, where it provides a major source of employment and income. Whether you're interested in skiing, hiking, photography, history, food, luxury travel, or simply relaxing in nature, Switzerland has something to offer. Switzerland may be small, but it feels like several countries in one. It has towering Alps, peaceful lakes, historic cities, traditional villages, modern financial centers, incredible trains, world-famous chocolate, and a culture shaped by 4 language regions. And perhaps that's the magic of Switzerland. You don't have to choose between mountains and cities, adventure and relaxation, or tradition and modern life. You can experience all of them in one journey. So if Switzerland has been on your travel list, maybe it's time to discover it for yourself. Which place in Switzerland would you visit first? The Alps, Zürich, Geneva, Lucerne, or the Matterhorn? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow for more incredible journeys around the world. Thanks for watching.